I think before we do anything, we need to have an understanding um, that you must have divine oneness, okay? Because
Yeah.
divine oneness with yourself and divine oneness with the universe, okay? Because you can sit and you can try to get your paperwork together, you could do all of this stuff, but guess what? If you're still in the same predicament, if you're still sick, when you get out of the hospital, it's going to be the same thing, okay? So only it's just a matter of time before they re-trick you out of your papers in the situation because we didn't need papers
Yeah.
in the first place. Okay. Now we have
Yeah.
a feeling that we need papers now because we're trying to do something different in opposition of our nature, which is the paper. Now, if we have to use the paper, that's fine. The paper's going to do what it's going to do. But I want you to understand is
But it's gonna
when we
put a
start
target on your
focusing
back.
on refocusing when we start refocusing, right, when we start refocusing in on the universal laws and learning them and
Mm.
how they are at our command and not us at their command, or we're going to ask the universe for this. No, we command the universe what we want. And when we sit up here and we start like the number one universal law is divine oneness. Okay. And the number
Right.
one natural law is self-preservation. Okay, so I'm
Uh-huh.
starting to understand these. This is what we should be talking about. We shouldn't be coming together to tear down or build up the Bible because the Bible is an attempt to help you understand and live inside the universal laws. Okay, so the universal laws are what we need to be talking about because that is going to
Yeah.
connect us all back together. You know what I'm saying? The Bible ain't done it. The Bible has how many hundreds of
Yeah.
years, and the Bible hasn't done it.
Even
It's
though
not going to do it.
Hey yo, hey
I
yo,
wanted to
we
comment on
are
that. Oh.
we are to hold on to our Bibles because we're going to use them to indict the
Yeah,
Europeans.
that's what I was finna say. Not only
You know
that,
what I mean?
not only that, not only that, it got your alchemical codes in that. You see what I'm
Come on.
saying? Just like
Hey,
how the slaves used to sing songs and they got messages like Morse
I
code in
turned it
that.
off.
You know, but they surrounded it by fictional allegorical stories to get
Yep.
you entrapped into
Hey,
the entertainment of it all.
right.
But
They
this
explained
brother
it to
right here is
grown-ups.
right
Hmm.
about
They
the
explained
oneness,
it.
right?
Hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
They explained it to the people as if they're children. That's why it's like fantasy like. They didn't explain it to the people as if they were adults because by law the people are not adults. They're minors, not even black people. Minors, minority is everybody in the eyes of the government and state.
Come on,
Minority is just
come on,
the root word is minor, and the law definition for that is childlike.
come
Can't
here,
handle your
come
own
here.
affairs. You know what I'm saying? So they can't even come out and teach the adults, which we know we're adults. They can't teach us in that manner because of what we don't know, and we are childlike, and we can handle our own affairs. We argue like we're children. We can't be like, baby, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Let's not argue. We can't say that. We can't be on here and argue with somebody. Say, yo, you know what, man? Let's just squash this shit, man. And come together as one and start building. We can't bring ourselves to that because we still have a mind of a child, even though we're adults with
Yeah.
hair on our ass. But no, 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 no. So you
Do
gotta.
do you think we are really supposed to come together at all? I'm
Oh
not talking
yeah.
about like and no, but just look at this a second, brother. Just look at
Uh
this
Yeah,
a
huh.
second.
yeah, you
See,
are
because
supposed
just
to
like
come
my brother,
together.
yeah,
Hmm.
I know you ain't let me finish my point though.
Go
I'm in
ahead.
agreements with coming together, but just like you said, we got to get to the oneness first. So our walk starts out individually in order to make an atmosphere for this coming together to come together because now we're not dealing with flesh and blood. We're dealing with
No.
principalities and high places.
Hey, all the time.
All right,
All the
so
time.
so listen, guys. We are on the right track. If we can get to stay like this and then get other panels and other people to stay right here, okay?
Okay, I hear you.
then we can actually make ground, because it's not so much as us physically coming together, okay? It's so much
Mm-hmm.
as us understanding our nature and our connection with nature. So if I'm living according to universal law, okay, and as a
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm representing universal law. I also am representing natural law. But guess who's doing
Right.
more representation of the natural law? Is the
The,
women. Okay. Now
Yeah.
the men are doing more representation of universal law, even though they still are accountable for that, and it be a part of them. But guess what? What I'm saying to you guys is, um, don't get mixed up into thinking that you have to have somebody die for you to make this come into the perspective for you. You don't. We don't have to keep living like that anymore, because that's what the slave master did. The slave master took the one and made him die and beat him and did all that stuff in front of everybody to get you, you know what I'm saying, to the point to where they could control you and do what they want you to do. Okay? Now this is what happens when the enemy begins to swat you and recreate what you do. So therefore, you, as being the creator, the authenticator of everything, must understand that by you reconnecting with universal law and natural law, it puts you back in the driver's seat of all the bullshit that's happened through the thousands of years. It puts you right back in the driver's seat. And then also what it does is it puts you in the driver's seat to start to come up with something new. Okay, guess what? We don't want to do the sacrificial lamb shit no more. We want to create something different. And that puts us in that place, in that position to be able to do that. So this is why I
socialism.
keep sharing this, and I keep sharing this over and over with people. Okay? And that's this. You know, we getting with universal law, you're already with it, because everything in you, you know what I'm saying, is a sum total of the universal laws. Even when you sleep, these universal laws are always in operation. Okay? Even like the law of gravity. The law of gravity holds you in that bed even while you sleep. So my thing is that the more that we start talking about universal laws and defining them and learning how to make them work and the natural laws, you'll be like,
Right.
damn, I am so surprised. You know what I mean? Just how much all of the bullshit will be taken out of the picture. And I'm done.
Mm. And I wanted to. You remember that movie Roots
Yep, so do.
when Kunta Kinte was being whooped by a slave master,
Yeah,
and it took him from saying Kunta to Toby, Kunta, Kunta, Toby, Kunta, Toby. When they did that in front of, took the one and beat the one and crucified the one in front of everybody, they went by the strongest one and broke down the genetic sound frequency of how we communicated with the universe through our spine, which is 33 vertebrae.
Can
You know what I'm
I?
saying? 29, but the 29th one is 4 vertebrae, the lumbar,
Y'all
right?
gotta forgive me. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, y'all gotta forgive me, man. I don't want to cut nobody wisdom, right? But I understand
Yeah.
that perception. You know our perception, right? Our perception
Mm-hmm.
can only be what was given to us to judge off of what was given to us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I hear a lot of us
Mm-hmm.
say slavery and that we're slaves. So if we were slaves, we would bring on the connotation of what a slave would act like, right? I mean, you're manifesting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
there's a book called 100 Amazing Facts About 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro by A.J. Rogers. And on page 64, and this is with complete proof, it says it on the book, right? And plus, I did the work behind it anyway. So on page 64, it says the first slaves held in the United States, and it says United States, not America, because America died in
Right.
1871, if people aren't familiar with that.
1871. Right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So the first slave held in the United States were not black but white. They were
They
Europeans,
were
mostly
white.
British. Yeah, mostly British who died like flies on the slave ships across. On one voyage, 1,100 perished out of 1,500, and another time, 350 out of 400. In Virginia, white servitude was for a limited time, for a limited period, but for but was sometimes extended to life. In the West Indies, particularly in the coast of the Irish, in the case of the Irish, it was for life. White people were sold in the United States up until 1826, 50 years after the signing of the Declaration of the Independence. 15 years, excuse me, y'all.
Yeah.
Andrew Johnson, President of the United States, was a runaway and was advised for the newspaper. And then it goes on to say how they had to make laws forbidding Negroes from buying white people. This is in the
Who
1800s,
was that?
man. This is in like
Who was that?
1859. Huh?
You know why you got attitude?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, perception is everything. So, if our perception can be controlled, then so can our reality, is what I say. You know
And
what I
that is
mean?
so
So, that'd
true.
be a good, yeah, that'd be shit, man. What do you mean? Let's go take over the block over there, man. Let's tell them
Hey,
certain shit and keep certain shit from them.
Now,
We'll run them forever, man.
that's why they
now
say a
the
mind is a terrible
guys.
thing to waste.
Yeah.
So now, guys. So now the real significance in the issue dealing with the root, the movie and the roots. Okay, the enemy watched you for like forever, and they were
Hmm.
always taking notes and always, putting shit together. Okay,
Hmm.
so that when it came time for them to put their hand down, they always get their target. They always get their mark because they sit and studied you and watched you and how you interacted.
Hmm.
Okay, Kunta Kinte was supposed to be the head of the people, not the head of the people in the sense of the people made him the leader, but because he was the one that was pulled out. You understand? All right, because he was pulled out, he became the leader. So anyone that was pulled out from the people, they were actually going to be the leader. Okay, because that was in front of everybody's eyes and how the reaction of everything was going to be. All right. So now I said all that to say this right here. Okay, is that this was about getting you to conform to the universal laws, the ways of the universe. Okay, so I can do anything I want to do to you. All right, I don't have the authority. Okay, to be able to do what I'm doing to you. So I'm doing this in the form of the ends justify the means. Okay, so this is what they did. They said, well, fuck it. We can't end the shit. We can't let these motherfuckers win because they about to fucking win. Okay, and we can't let them win. So this is what they did. All right, this is how they did it, and I'm gonna tell you why they did it. Okay, because it was their end. Their end came. Okay, their end came, and so they went out on a limb and stepped out there and they started to beat this brother. Okay, now why was they beating him? Why was they trying to make him call himself Toby rather than Kuta Kinte? Okay, because they knew that if they had to let these black people move forward amongst the land where they were at, it was over for them. Why? Because of the ways of the universe were attached to Kuta Kinte and the people. All right. Now you got to remember that these other people that was with the Kuta Kinte, you understand, these people had already left the ways of the universe. Okay, and they knew that these people was about to do some crazy stuff to them to end them. All right, so therefore now the constellations of the powers to be behind each word and each syllable, whether you guys realize that or not. Okay, and so when you come to a new word or new syllable and with letters, okay, it puts you in the driver's seat with that name. So when you take on the name Kuta Kinte, the name that was attached to Kuta Kinte was not the spirit of a slave. You understand? So which means because you didn't have the spirit of the slave on you, which meant that you didn't have no authorization to treat this person as a slave to do the things that you wanted to do to these people. All right. So that was the whole point of them beating him and making him say himself, my name is Toby. Because once he spoke to the universe and said, my name is Toby, you understand, then the universe honored that slave spirit to be placed on him. And so therefore Kuta Kinte now is operating inside of the spirit of a slave. Okay, this is why like a lot of people when they go into like the Islamic religions, they change their names from the slave master's name to a free name. This is why the Chinese have different names that frees them and keeps them separated, you understand, from other forces. And the same way with any other race and any other people, when these people infiltrated their race, okay, this is what they did. And so this is what I'm sharing with you guys now, is that the more that you get in touch with your universal self, okay, the more you start getting in touch with that, the more that you put yourself right back in the position with the victory once again. But you have to be ready and understanding that to learn and study history, the history of your people, what really is history and what's not history. Why? Because as soon as you regain your place, your natural power, your natural source as being source, okay, they're going to come up against you again. And you don't know if it's going to be the child or woman or man, but they're going to try to do the same thing again. And this is why it's important that you let go. Once you deal with your straw name, you let that bad boy go, because it takes that spirit of slavery off of you. So now that you are actually not operating based upon, when you say my name is Johnson's, my name is Coleman's, and the S on the end itself states that you belong to someone. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
once we stop putting this spirit on ourselves and start
Mm.
like, you know what, I'm gonna change my name from fucking some this name the Johnsons, and I'm gonna change my name to like I don't know, Dumbilabia. You know what I mean? A name that's never ever been existed before, because it puts the spirit of that name in your hands. So whatever you experience with that name, you attach the spirit of it, that anybody else that comes behind you and takes that name, there will be given into that spirit of you. So just like the original person that had the name Toby before Kuta Kinte had the name, when that name was first given to that first slave, whatever it was, okay, the syllables, the names that it called upon for the constellations. So Toby, it called upon certain constellations in the atmosphere that had that spirit of slavery on it. And so once you,
Right.
if the first person that had the name Toby, okay, had a fault and kept from being put in a slave position, then the spirit of the slave could not rest on Toby or Coleman's or Johnson's. So it's all about the connection, the reconnecting to your universe, to the natural laws. This is what it's about. And I just wanted to put that information out there so you guys will know what's behind the beating. Why was he trying to get him so much to call his own self Toby, a slave? That's
Yeah.
why. And I just
He
wanted to
had to
put that out there
consent.
to you.
Right. He had to consent,
Exactly.
man. Right. It's whatever the God
Exactly.
Yeah.
says. And we're all gods. So if you're a God and you
Yeah.
say, yeah, they can do that, hey, man, they won't get no karma because you agreed. Yeah,
So
he's
now they
right.
don't have to.
100%.
So now they don't.
Yeah.
Now they don't have
So
to. They don't have to beat. They don't have to beat nobody no more, because you're doing it to your brothers. You're doing it to your own sisters and your own
they
brothers.
mentally
Look,
put it
that
in you.
that that nigga. Look, that nigga going to prison. Or look, that nigga. Somebody gonna kill him for that shit. So we do
Yep.
this about each other. We say this about each other. We put it out into the atmosphere, to the universe, and the universe
Come
hears it.
on.
Okay, and it has
Come
to
on.
carry it out,
It's
because you are
gonna.
God. The words that you
No,
speak are
right.
God. So
It's
therefore,
gonna.
your brother is over there struggling not to go to prison, and he don't know that you sit there and put a fucking spell on him.
That's true.
Period.
That's true.
Period. Fuck
That's
Exactly.
what you
true.
heard, man. Fuck what you
There you
heard, man.
go. Let
That's
Yeah,
them
fuck
why
know.
what
that
you heard.
you
That's a
ever
fact.
studied the word abracadabra?
Abracadabra. No, I haven't, but I've heard of a. I haven't.
It
I
They
haven't heard
made a
this in a
song
while,
out
but
of it.
they
yeah.
teach you that it's a magical word, and it's just like the brother just got through saying. It's power in all
Come on,
words,
man.
all
Come
phrases.
on.
When you
Period.
say abracadabra, you also putting in the universe, like the brother was saying, the same practice of your father in which you came from, the same air, the same breath, that bread,
Yeah.
that same air that was placed into man in the beginning. It's that same power that every single human being on the planet got the same power. You got the same ability to create out of nothing.
Come
When
on.
we say out of nothing, we're not talking about nothing, because nothing was created from nothing.
Come
It
on.
started from something.
Mhm.
If no
Y'all
more than
motherfuckers
Right.
something.
an idea.
It was
Right.
created. It
It's
was
all an
created
idea.
against the
It's
It's all
resistance.
an idea.
it's socialism,
It was
man.
great.
United States is
It
an
was.
idea that we agree to. We go to jail on this shit
Hey,
that we
hey,
agreed
bro.
to an
Hey, bro.
idea.
So
I wanted to
so
stay out of it, but when you start talking about the name change, man, I changed my name back in '98.
I changed
yeah.
mine too.
Oh yeah, I got
Abdullah
Uncle
I
Robert.
got it.
I got
Listen,
Uncle
listen,
Robert
listen,
Greenship.
yo. Listen to this. I got a name.
Hey, you
I'm
need
never
to
gonna
get
tell
on.
no. I'm never gonna tell nobody my name. Okay. But what I did was, all right,
You
at a time that I had a lot of information right in front of me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I sat and I looked up syllables. And I looked at where those syllables originated from, where it came from, what nation it came from. So in
Yeah.
each place in Africa, okay, I looked at those names, all right, those syllables, and I put those syllables together from this country in Africa, and then the other country in Africa, and then another country in Africa. And I made up a name that's never been heard before. And I keep it to myself because I don't want nobody to mess it up while I'm setting the tone for this
Yeah.
name. So when I put
That's
the
right.
name out, then other people want to say, hey, I like that name. I want to be called that name. But guess what? That name is going to lead your ass to freedom. That name is going to lead you to freedom of your straw name. It's going to lead you to be in the sun, live in the sun. You understand? On
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
equator. You understand? It's going
Yeah.
to get you right. And this is where
Yeah.
we got to be. We got to have this understanding that if you know all this information that we're popping right now on this panel, you understand? You are
Mm-hmm.
responsible. You are responsible. To much is given, much is required.
much
And
is
you're
required.
not supposed to be sitting down doing nothing, just talking shit about it. You're supposed to be up, understanding what you got to do, the way you live your
Come on.
life every day, the people that you hang around
Hey,
with,
check this
and
out,
and
bro.
and and the words that you speak need to be words of life to everybody so that when you leave from that person is not dying because you spoke death to them. So this is the battle. This is the fight. And this is what makes you a leader because you're leading by example and you understand, you're saying what's going on now.
Bro,
Let me calm down. Go ahead.
hey, bro. Don't you know when you like we speak about the Bible, we speak about, I guess you could say, religions, if you want to speak about religion, if you want to say religion. But when they speak about the event of Babylon in the Bible, it wasn't nobody who had more doubt in man than man himself. If you go look at the story of Babylon, when God was getting ready to knock down those towers, what did he say? He said, look at man. There's nothing he can't do if he put his mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
We on it.
God never had no doubt in you, period, from the beginning. He never had no doubt in you. He's aware of what he created. You don't think so? If you come from him, you got the same ability he had. You say you made in his image and his likeness. We could do the same. We let them people strip us of our power, man. We traded
Period.
position. We traded
Yeah.
position.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
You took
traded that
privileges.
position.
Yeah.
That's
You
how
took
we ended up
privileges
in that position.
instead
We
of rights.
traded that position.
You traded your rights, your human rights, your
We
universal law
traded it.
rights for
You
privileges.
traded it.
It's a
I
it's a
got mine
privilege to
back,
have a license.
my boy. I got mine back. And
I
I'm
hear
doing
you,
the same
fam.
thing every day. I try to show people how to get it back. I got legal documents to change the name, all
Come
that.
on. Let's
I do it all,
go.
bro. I've
Come
been I've
on.
been
That's
I've
what I'm
been
talking
walking this
about.
walk. I've been walking this walk for over 20 some years now.
Hey man, I can hear it. I can hear it. Shit, shit, either you know or you don't know.
Yo, what up, y'all?
How the world actually works, not the way we thought it did. You know what I mean? It's
Nah,
like
the
a
word,
lie sandwich. They put a
no,
truth at the
the
top,
word,
lie in the middle, and the truth at the bottom. So we be confused like hell.
Hey, let me add this last interjection, bro. Go back to when the commandments was said, when it was saying, which is the greatest commandment? What is the greatest commandment? Love. Because if you love each other, man, do you know, bro, that is man's biggest challenge, to love each other? That's man's biggest challenge, to have love for each and every man. We against how he live. This one over here, like the smoke. This one over here like the drink. This one over here like to sleep with men. This one over here like to sleep. Bro, do you know when God touched me, I was at my worst, bro? So how I'm gonna count these people out? When God touched me, I was at my worst. If it's over with for them, then it got to be over with for me, because I done did some things in my life that they ain't gonna never do.
Big facts.
That's just real, bro. I love everybody, bro. I love everybody.
Hey man, that's a principle. That's a principle. And we don't go by principles no more. There you go. There you go. Period. 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 Hey man, I can't fuck with you because I can't fuck with you because I can't get mad and upset. I gotta come with love. That's the first principle. I got
Period.
to.
Yes.
Hey, look
Period.
here, man. I might not even like you, but god damn it, I got to come with love. Shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I
Yeah.
got to. It's a principle. Love, peace, freedom, truth, justice, and equality.
Replace fire with a card. Replace fire with I love you card.
I gotta come see if you alright. If anything, if any encounter, you alright?
Yeah,
That's
straight
it.
up, man. Love is
Yeah.
love is a formula, man. It's the magic potion to everything that we going through, bro. That is the formula. If you learn how to apply that, man, life will smooth out for you.
Now,
Gentlemen,
here's the thing.
can I
Now,
say
here's the thing. I want
Love,
you guys to understand this, right?
love is
So
letting
when you
that
have a
shit go.
person,
That's love.
when you have a person, when you have a person that live by rules and man-made laws, that's a person that is a slave.
Yeah.
No matter how much money they get, they are a slave.
Mm-hmm.
But a man,
Straight up.
Dangerous.
a
Straight
person,
up.
a man that
Dangerous.
live, a
Yeah.
man that live by a man that live by principle is a free man because he has chose to rule himself. You understand, with principle and not with just mediocre principles. He's
I
ruling
Come
tell you
on.
this.
himself with principles associated with the universal law. So that's how you know if you got a man or
Sissy.
a woman in your outfit, if they're free or if they're in bondage, because they'll live by rules and man-made laws. You understand? So,
I
hey,
tell you this.
can I
I
say
only apply
something?
5 principles to my life, bro. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And those I start out with love. If it ain't them
Hey, hold
5, bro, I
on.
don't even care nothing about it.
Black man,
Love,
I keep
truth,
hearing
peace,
y'all
freedom, and
talk.
justice. That's it. I don't care about nothing else.
Brothers, brothers, can I get the flow for a second?
Hey
I've been
guys,
raising my hand. I've been raising my hand in the comments and nobody's paying
this is
attention.
Bruce from Birmingham.
The first
you got it,
thing
brother.
I like to speak
Hey, let him
on.
get the mic. Let him get the mic, y'all. Let him get the mic. Get your mic.
Hey, Charles, can you mute yourself? The first thing I like to speak on is, listen, today in today's society, we have a lot of brothers that still lost sleep. I'm glad to hear y'all talking about changing your name, understanding who you are. But that deals with roots. A lot of us don't even know our roots.
Real talk.
That's black people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not here to preach racism, none of that. I'm only here to state facts. As a minister, I sit back and I say, my God, he sits on the just and the unjust. And I listen. In today's society, this is Black History Month, so I'm going to come with it.
Come on.
We ain't been paid our fair share since slavery. And Japan's been paid, everybody been paid, but a lot of talk go on. A lot of talk about this, that we gonna get reparations, we gonna get this. But at the same time, these laws have been passed to hurt us. We still stuck behind a bunch of stuff that we are separated from. But you can't say you're a true Christian and not speak on it and not
Lord
see
have
that
mercy.
done. That's why I'm upset with a lot of people that's in control right now. They've been quiet. They ain't really pursuing nothing. They just do a lot of talk. But for me right now to start seeing what I know as I've come to grow and learn what's really going on, I understand how y'all feel. I'm going to say that first. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to lay it out straight. So I understand when somebody say, man, I'm going through it because I'm going through it
Right.
myself. As I'm trying to figure out how to make them pay me for what they owe me. They owe my ancestors. They owe my brothers. They owe my sister. They owe my mama. They owe my great grandfather. They paid everybody else, but they paid us. And we black people have suffered the most.
I ain't lying.
We got a lot of people that come here because they chose to come here. But by God, we didn't choose to come here.
Scripture?
Nah,
Now
they didn't
listen.
choose. They were
Now check
brought
this
here,
out.
man.
Now check this out. Listen to me very carefully, people. Let me share this
You're a
with you, okay?
reverend. You should know this. There's scripture.
Yeah, let me share something with you. Old school, was you done with the mic, bro? Because I want to chime in. Was you done?
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Okay. All right. So I, I'm like this, right? If you go out here and you beat these white people up, home invasion, stealing, assaulting them, and you go to prison and you do time, they give you a tail. They don't give you flat time where you know you're getting out on this day. They give you a tail, so which means you got to go to the parole board. And you got all these white people on this parole board when you go up to this parole board. Now, let me ask you something. If you go in that parole board and you're angry, you can see the little, hidden hostilities within you, and you're trying to hide it and shit like that. All right. And they're saying they've already taken the society away from you. So where they saying this is our shit. All right.
Yep.
Even though it's not, they're saying it's their
Yep.
shit. All right.
Yep.
So they have the power now to lock you up or let you out. Now, having done this crazy shit to their communities, they're afraid for their children and their women, first of all. So
Yep.
if you're sitting in front of this panel of parole board people that's for the system, all right, even if it's a black person there, they're representing the system that'll keep you down. So should I put my signature on this paper that says that you're okay to come back out into society, that you're not going to be angry, you're not going to get back at people, you're not going to do this? Would you sign that paper to let me out to come out there and fuck you up again?
Hey
No,
man,
you won't.
check this out.
So wait a minute, let me finish.
Yeah,
So
proceed.
now I'm saying that to say this right here. Okay. So now, as far as we know, there ain't no more Jews in these concentration camps getting thrown alive into these ovens and getting killed and smoke inhalations and all that crazy shit. All right. All right. So now look, that's all over. They sitting in groups somewhere talking about we're surviving, we're trying to keep this Holocaust shit off of our people again. So we got awareness, and they doing all this shit, right? And they pass the money between themselves 7 times before they let the rest of the world have that money. You understand? And so what I'm saying to you is now we're not in a position to be asking for reparations. All right. Why? Because we still got our fucking men. Our black men are still in fucking prison doing the same shit, lost, you know what I'm saying, in there getting abused and getting their mind fucked up. Some of them are getting their mind right, but we're still in the same fucking position to where we're still suffering. It hasn't come to an end. We're not all together.
Exactly.
We're not all together sitting in the same place talking about, look, this is what would happen to us. We got to keep this from happening to us, and then we're going to ask for reparations. Okay? You can't. It's going to be hard for you to ask for reparations, and you're still suffering. You're still going through the same shit. So what I'm saying is the enemy still has the upper hand on you. So now, with all of these cats that's got this money, now we're talking about like rap artists, movie stars, get all this fucking money. Bill Cosby, you understand? All these cats, Oprah Winfrey. How many of them has built a fucking halfway house that holds 3,000 to 10,000 people and take our people from the fucking prisons and put them in these motherfuckers and get them right? None
They
of them.
can't do that.
So what
They
we
can't.
so what
It's
we
Hold
because
up,
gotta
they
hold
do,
up,
can't.
hold up.
what we gotta understand, hold
It's
on, hold on. What
because
we
they
gotta
can't.
understand, what we got,
I
it doesn't
would,
matter. What I'm
I
saying
would,
is,
I
Hey,
you know
God
what I'm
would,
buddy,
saying?
I
how
What
about
would.
a
we gotta
halfway
do
house?
is
Not a
we're
halfway house,
not
but a
connecting.
halfway
We're not
house.
connecting the
Man,
way that
you
we
talking
should
to
connect.
somebody that's been in there.
I'm
Yeah, you're
simply
I
right.
saying
grew
this,
You're
up
okay?
right.
in there.
You're
I
right about
If
that.
lived
you use
around
the
in
Bible,
there.
I'm not
I
gonna put
wouldn't
the
put no
Bible
halfway house
down.
up for
I'm not gonna put it down or talk down about it. But I'm saying if you keep utilizing, if you keep
Listen up.
hold on, man, hold on.
Go ahead.
If
Go
you
ahead. Go
keep
ahead, man.
utilizing, if you keep utilizing the same tools that we've used in the past, you know what I'm saying? You're still setting each other up because now the enemy knows that you're going to try to use these tools to set you free. So they set traps, and we keep walking into these traps. So what I'm saying is the moment that we come together with the mind of universal law and natural law, you understand, that's going to put us on the, like I said, it's going to put us in a whole position. I want you to come together. This is why
you
Hey.
know,
told
there's
you
nothing wrong with your
Hey.
during
plan,
the
bro. But just
Hey,
19,
it
hold
takes
okay,
on,
three
that
things
you
to
had to
have
Hey.
a
stay
good
whole,
plan.
stay
hold
separate.
on.
He's right.
Why?
He's
Because the
right.
knowledge
It'll
No,
put us
and
in
hold
this
strength and
position.
number brothers and your sisters
Hey,
that
look.
ignites
Exactly.
something, and that
That
causes you
that
to be
plan got to
uplifted
be
in
for
the
free
air in
thinkers and
love
free
where you're
people.
supposed to be.
on,
And
Hey,
and
look.
that's it. That's
It'll
all I
put
want
us
to
in this
say. That's
position
all. I just
right
want to make
here,
that clear
y'all.
to you guys.
It'll put us in that position right here. They'll move us to the side, baby. That's that Freemason upside down on top
hold
of your
on,
head. They'll push you to the side,
Am
brother.
I,
He
is
right.
it choppy?
He
hold on,
100% right.
hold on, bro. Hold on. It is a couple things that we can do. And I want y'all to pay attention to this if you know your history.
Come on with it.
See, back in the day, when the white man started taking our beautiful black sisters and sleeping with them, their offspring had rights to be called heirs. But they went and changed the law to say that their offspring wasn't heirs. That's where they started getting away with doing the dirt that they were doing. If you want to know the truth, the
I
deep.
Yeah,
believe it.
but they got to get our
Now,
consent, though.
hold on. It ain't no consent. They didn't get no consent. Get that consent out the way. We gonna get
Right.
to the root. I'm getting to the root right now. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to deal with.
People that were raped by
And
slave
Mhm.
masters.
the root of things that I've learned how to get reparations, getting justice on the floor. There's a lot been going on since a lot of these killers been put on TV. A lot of pressure is on Washington.